And I have this. We'll also simultaneously record a YouTube video at the same time. So we're truly maximizing the content here, guys. This is, so I'm gonna stream here, and I'm gonna get a mic on. Let's see. All right. Hold on. We're gonna get there in a second. I'm gonna put another microphone on myself, so I have a big camera over there. It's kind of the same thing like we did with the blind tasting of the geishas, where we did the cuppings. Maybe we'll do a cupping, but we're gonna try brewing. Or maybe I'm just lazy and I'll just edit this version of it. But I have the big camera here, so we'll use the big camera. Got the double microphone. Let's go. 2 mics.
What's EWAT?
I do not know. Okay, and then this is a mic for you. But anyway, I guess I'll just record this here. Okay. It is time. We are going to brew some esmeralda. I think we'll also cup it, but this is the 92 point, very big number esmeralda coffee. And I'm here at Bean Bean Roastery in Queens, so kind of far away from home, but we have these really premium coffees. We did a stream on sample roasting these coffees earlier, so check that out. But now we're gonna brew some. It is on the fresher side. There are a few versions of this coffee that was roasted, and they are profiled roasts, so they're gonna be a little different than production, but this will give us a good idea of the coffee. What I wanna do today is, as you guys know, I have 2 very patented pour-over recipes, and we're going to brew these 2 different versions of the pour-over recipe, and I'm gonna have Ji-Yoon taste it. I was gonna say V60 recipe, but today we're gonna do this on UFO. So we're gonna do 2 versions where you guys see I dump a ton of water, high kettle agitation, which I would say is more acidity forward, versus lower agitation, something like mellow drip, which I think is super maximum clarity, like balanced type of flavor. So we're gonna try these 2 versions, and we're gonna see which one is better, or if maybe none of them are better, and there are some preferences here and there. But we're using very premium coffees, and these coffees that are very loud and expressive, these types of pour-over recipes will be very fun for that. But yeah, that is the plan for today, and also for those of you who are on the stream. Let's kind of get these coffees ground up. They're on the fresher side, so if you have fresher coffees, get them ground up, let them sit for a little, and then we can take into account of that when we brew the coffees. So let's get some of these ground up. We're also using lower dosages for these brews because each gram of this coffee is like $1. Maybe more than $1. It's more than $1, right?
More.
Yeah, more. But I have one mic on me for the stream, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear her well, we can hand the mic off and all of that. But okay, let's get some of these coffees ground. We'll just grind it on the EK over here. And we'll let it sit for a few minutes and go from there.
I wish we brought the ZP6.
You want a ZP6? We can use EK. Why don't we use EK instead of ZP6? This is EK.
So how are you going to grind it?
What is your pour-over setting? We can use the pour-over grind setting. We can fix everything in brewing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Just gonna throw this in. It's very expensive. How about you do it?
No, you can do it.
I'm scared of messing this up. Okay, maybe I'll get a little water for some RDT. Greetings, Mr. Klein. It is truly an honor to receive your knowledge on this fine day. Very cool.
That's a joke, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's a joke. Obviously. Okay, I think I just set the coffee down. Oh wait, no, I set the coffee down over there.
There's water over there.
Yeah. All right, I guess let me dump a little bit of this somewhere else. I just want
You
some,
can dump everything, whatever.
yeah, I just want some cooler water for RDT. I'm gonna pause this recording here. So maybe we don't cup these and we just brew, but we'll see. You probably should still cup these a coffee. Okay.
That's the
kinda-
dose I have here.
Kind of cool this down so I can RDT. All right. Should I? I'll do it. I'll do it. I was like, should I purge this at all? It's fine. Just you know,
It's
you
better
can
to purge.
ignore that I'm using my fingers to wet the beans.
It's fine.
Should we actually purge this?
Yeah.
You're handing me. I'm getting handed money here. This is dollars here.
Yeah.
What should I grind this into? You guys, do you have like a catch cup?
Yeah. We can use this.
Oh, I guess we can. Yeah, let's use it. Every bean counts. Like literally. This is I haven't had this experience before where I'm like literally every bean counts. Here, let's do a little purge. Oh, these are dollars. What is this set to? Oh, this is set like really fine. Really coarse. Let's set it to here. I think this is probably good. Slightly on the finer side.
Yeah.
Do a little purge. Yeah.
And then you can use these.
All right. This is workable. Yeah, that's had a little water in it. Okay, gonna grind these coffees. Big dollars here. So I'm grinding a little finer and I'm gonna let this sit here. Whoa, that smells nice. It is on the fresher side, and you know, we can see we didn't, a lot of static from EK World. But I'm using that as like a little dosing cup, and I'm then going to just grind more of the coffee. I think the same grind size should work for both of these recipes, so we'll try them out. As you guys have seen with the pourover recipes, we definitely can grind way finer with something like mellow drip and get away with these really large ratios. But also with high kettle agitation, these are things that can work as well. So, and then the dose on these is around 13 grams. I'll weigh them out, but we're doing a little lower dose for
This is 12.
the 12. Okay, we'll do 12 to like 205-ish world. You have coffee on. But yeah, these coffees are very, very fresh, so we're trying to make sure that they open up a little before we brew them. And I RDT'd this one a little better, so it's a bit cleaner. But wow, this is the same coffee. You can smell it's very explosive. There's a lot of stuff happening. It is on the fresher side, so we're gonna let them kind of open up. The way to do that is just grind it. You know, you could shake it up as well, get some air into it. But I'm gonna brew these all on UFO. So we're gonna have two very different styles of coffee, and I'm gonna use these very fancy Sybarist UFO filters. And that is the plan. But yeah, a lot of waiting around. I'll get a kettle. Let me look at the temperatures on the kettles. Let me look at the chat to see if anybody said anything.
209.
209. Okay, I think we'll do a little lower.
Mr. Vaughn? What would you like to know?
205. Let's go a little lower. Oh, yeah, there's like some surreal meme with like three beans, eating 3 beans. Let's go. I'm here for the macaroni and cheese recipe. I don't have a macaroni and cheese recipe at this moment.
What is this macaroni?
I don't know. There's people are asking for other recipes, you know, other advice in their life. You know, maybe people don't only want to learn how to make coffee. They want to learn how to make mac and cheese. All right, I'm gonna pre-wet this.
Oh, it doesn't sit.
Yeah, it doesn't sit super steady, but
Is it the server?
yeah, it's a server. It's okay. It'll work. It'll work. There's a little coffee ground there. Everything will work, but yeah, I'm going to. So these have been sitting for a little bit, but in brewing, I'm still going to kind of compensate for the freshness. Let's see, UFO, and then I'm just actually going to.
Isn't this problematic?
It'll be fine.
It should be completely level.
Or do you want to brew? We can brew into a mug. I'm just gonna push this in there. Use the little disputer. Just look at that. Ooh, very, very clean. Negative air channels. You can just balance them.
Do you know how to make sure it's balanced?
I mean, you just brew into a bigger cup and pour it out.
I'll bring a different cup.
Okay. I'll entertain you guys on chat. Oh, cool. We have Mexico Cup of Excellence over there. So that's like if you guys bought that, there's like a COE box. The Mexico just showed up. We gotta get content. Wait, can I zoom you guys in? I don't know how this. Let me see if I can zoom you guys in. I don't think I can zoom you guys in. Let me see if I can zoom. We're gonna zoom you guys in. Do you see this? This is the Mexico COE. It says there's a Mexico COE coffee there. You know, we just hang out and just premium coffees show up. Do you see how cool this is? Here, let me give the mic to Ji and she can talk about this.
This is semi.
So, coffees, premium coffees. See, it says COE there. Do you want it? Do you want to talk about this coffee? I have this zoomed in. If you want to.
Oh yeah.
You want to?
Oh. So this coffee, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
This coffee just arrived. Mexico coffees, Cup of Excellence. Two different kinds. One is a honey geisha from Sinai. It's a farm that we bought from last year as well. And then the other is a geisha, is a Costa Rica, and Marsellesa blend that won third place. And they've been through a lot, as you can see. We were waiting for these babies to arrive, but they got detained in Memphis for some time, and now they're finally here. So we're gonna dial in the roast and send out all the pre-orders. We got quite a few, so yeah, just these two boxes. I've been waiting eagerly for them.
There we go. Okay, I'll take the. Okay, the mic is on you, but I can take it back.
Oh, I can give it to you.
Yeah, we have two of the same looking microphones. Okay, see, do you guys see what happens, right? We just stream and then good stuff happens, right? A couple of Excellence coffees show up randomly. That's how it is. But I think she has this coffee for sale. So I don't know how many of you guys picked this up. Let me see if we can find it on the website. I'll go and link it in the chat. So I think for you guys this is the coffee that's in the COE box, I think, right?
Yes. Is it? I'm trying. What? Oh, because we have two different boxes. Mexico number. Oh, this is not live yet, actually. Number 2? Because we have two different boxes.
Isn't this number 2?
No, this is number 5.
Number 5? Okay.
Number 5 is 2. It's not live. Not yet. Yeah. Next week.
Okay. Well. I don't know. Okay. Well, randomly, Cup of Excellence coffees will appear, but we're gonna brew this one now. And I think she was looking for a carafe that we could brew this onto, because I know people are OCD about this being flat.
Oh, so let me get a cup?
Yeah, get a cup so people won't freak out. And now I need to figure out how to do math because I'm brewing 12 grams. This is a little more developed than, this specific is a Ikawa roast, so we're gonna try to handle it a little differently than a Loring roast, and it's also on the fresher end. But the general properties of this will show up in cup, where we're gonna be able to see the differences between direct high kettle agitation and more mellow drip, slower agitation. So the thought right now is I'm doing 12 gram doses on both of these coffees. There are a lot of really nice 12 to 200 recipes, but for these we're gonna stretch it out to maybe like 205, 206 world. And we're going to brew, I'm gonna do the same exact type of initial saturation and bloom on these coffees. So I'm gonna do, I think, 12 to 60 or 12 to 50, and then I'm gonna get in and agitate. But for the remaining pours, and I'm gonna keep them 3 pours each, I'm going to do one pour over where I'm gonna do heavy kettle agitation, and then the other I'm gonna do very slow mellow drip agitation. So we're gonna get 2 very different presentations that I've done on many of the streams before, but it's always fun to let people experience the differences in recipes. And hopefully they taste great. But it's probably going to be something like 60, 72, and 72 in that realm. We'll see how it is, but I just want to end up in the same area. My pours, each pour is going to be the same. The difference is going to be mellow drip agitation, I'd say lower agitation. And I'm going to actually go quite slow versus high kettle agitation. But these have now been sitting for a fair bit. I like to shake up the grounds just to try to get some air into it. It seems to help degas as well. But yeah, sweet, fruity, very, very clean for a natural. And we're gonna see how the dynamics are different between these two. But given what I'm smelling right now on sample roast, I am very excited for production roast of this coffee. So gonna pour some coffee in. 12 grams. Maybe a little over 12 grams.
Is it 13 that I did?
I think you did 13.
Okay. Then do you want to do...
Should I just do 13?
12? Yeah, just do the...
I'll just pour the rest. I think it's still 12.
Still.
It's yeah. These scales are not the most accurate scales in the world, but it smells great. And I think for the first one, let's do 60, 72, 72, or something in that realm. And we'll keep it all. Direct kettle agitation for this one. And for this, I'm going to bloom 1 minute at the beginning. So, you know, you guys have seen, yeah, you guys have seen that type of recipe. Every gram counts for these coffees. Okay, 205. And I'm going to start the timer here. I'm going to do a heavy kettle agitation. And I'm going to get in here and I'm going to agitate the bed using my little wet WDT tool that you guys have seen. On UFO, I found you can really get in on the edges and agitate because it's a wider brewer. See there? Ooh, balancing the UFO, very, very hard. Maybe we'll let these bloom even longer because they are fresher. And also because this is like a more developed sample roast profile, I am just gonna let the kettle kind of naturally decline because I want these coffees to actually taste good. Okay. So we'll bloom to maybe like 115 on these. So a little longer, but if you have a more rested coffee, I think you can bloom to just a minute. It smells really good. Wow. Very blueberry, very like mango-y blueberry. If you want to smell the bed there.
There's a lot happening right now.
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
A lot of stuff is happening as usual here. This is a production space. People are working. We're here goofing around on making streams, making the videos. But the thought and the thing that I've experienced is that the higher kettle agitation really shifts things forward. And we are getting slightly longer brew times because we're doing a much longer initial bloom. Oops. So I'm gonna actually extend these out to 215, and then I'm swirling and then giving a tap. So now we just let this decline. So this is actually a little longer ratio. 214 divided by 12, 1 to 17.8. So this is really an extended ratio. But I think it'll really let us taste a lot of those nuances of the coffee. And now, when this is finished, let's go ahead and brew mellow drip low agitation. So I have actually found with some of these coffees that are incredibly nuanced, pushing the coffees harder in terms of ratio is quite helpful for experiencing some of those like very, very slight nuances. But what we're aiming for, and also, you know, we're brewing here, we want to just try to reach very similar brew times, or no, sorry, not brew times, but we just want to kind of aim for a kind of consistency here. This is an incredibly consistent dripper, by the way. The UFO, super fast, very, very steady flow rate. And swirling and tapping, at least I found with the negative air channels, the fines get trapped in the negative air channels. And our brew time, probably around 3:30, even upwards of 4 minutes, depending on roast level, of course. But we're using the same coffee, so the idea is there a dynamic difference in the cup that is, you know, worthwhile mentioning? There we go, this is finishing up. I'll set this off to the side. Whoop. There we go. That's coffee one. Give that a smell, and can I toss this behind there?
Yeah.
Oh, and then let me also show this to you guys. This is a nice and flat bed. I swirled and tapped. See the fines? This is a very fresh coffee, and it's, you know, on the more developed side because it is a sample roast. See, all the fines get caught over here, and then we get the flat bed because of the swirl and tap at the end. So that is the first one, and then second one, which we're gonna do, is now we're gonna do the same. Everything's the same. Can we put this back on the base, heat it up? We're gonna do everything the same, but this time, well, the first pour is actually the exact same, but what we're gonna do is we're going to then use a mellow drip for the remaining pours. So we're going to get a very different, I would say, presentation of how these dynamics render in the cup. But I'm trying to keep all of the other dosages or pours to be as consistent and similar as possible. So the biggest difference is we're going to see an extension of brew time, of course. When you dump water directly into this, it's generally going to be faster than mellow drip agitation. Good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we're going to do version 2 of this recipe, which is mellow drip agitation. Now this one says 11.
11.
Hold on, there's probably some stuck in the EK. Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god.
Every bean counts with with this. We're getting there. Just you know. This is actually money here.
Oh my god.
See, it said 12 for a second. So either this is a Hario scale being like terrible, or there's a bean stuck in here somewhere. Every bean counts. Okay, we'll just pretend this is 12. I bet you this is like 12, but the scale is reading like 11.9, and it's very aggressive in terms of that. Okay. Oh. See, I can balance it. It's close enough. It's level enough, guys. This is fine. Okay. Let me get this kettle ready, and we will. Okay, yeah, we were brewing at like 205, 207 area. Let's see what happens. EK tried to eat the beans. I agree. Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck? I can't win. I rate this video a stream of excellence, cup of excellence. Very cool. Okay. Kettle's heating back up. So we're gonna direct kettle. We're gonna direct wet WDT the bed, and I'm gonna let it bloom again at the same time. Very long bloom because there's a little on the fresher side. And then I am going to then do my last 2 pours, but I'm gonna on purpose pour very, very slow. So actually it might help for a coffee like this, which is on the fresher side. That's close enough. 205. We need to be very meticulous and let the temperature be exactly what it needs to be. So I'm still pouring quite fast at the beginning. Pouring about 60. And I don't really think the pour pattern matters too much at the beginning here if you're agitating. But because I have a UFO, I have go into the edges there, I push the fines around, stir the bed a little, and then I let this sit. I'm not agitating as aggressively as I was agitating earlier with just the kettle. Because I find when you agitate during this bloom step, you get a lot of really good acidity coming out. Also with this, we can heat up the kettle just slightly more because we're gonna need to run temperature from kettle to mellow drip to bed of coffee. So I find you lose, a few degrees Fahrenheit between just pouring from here to here to here. So, depending on what you're going for, obviously adjust the taste. But man, this coffee smells incredible. Really letting the coffee open up. Now that this kettle is heated a few degrees back up, going to now do the mellow drip agitation. But this time I'm pouring very, very slow. So you can see here, I'm going all the way around. Gee, you should see this. This is very cool. You can see I'm agitating the bed of grounds here. I'm pouring actually probably around 2 to 3 mils a second. But I'm agitating, my first pour is to 65, my second pour here is to 145-ish, and my third pour is gonna be to 210, because I did the first brew to 210, so we want them to be basically the same ratio. However, because we're agitating the bed of grounds a lot lower, your brew times will actually be a little more extended on something like mellow drip. But now, and by the way, for all these pours, I like to let them kind of, I'm doing the other pour when the bed of grounds is going to, when the water is just escaping there. So there we go.
Is that the last pour?
Yeah, last pour.
Oh.
Can brew more later. But we're very, very close. So 215, or actually we should brew a little less for this because we seem to have lost a ground somewhere there. So this was to 214, 213 area. And our brew times are actually quite similar because UFO and the Sybaris are blazing fast. And let's pour these coffees into these carafes and kind of cool them down. The types of agitation are quite different between these two brews. So hopefully they taste different. But this coffee smells incredible. Also, I'm gonna keep track of which one's which. Or should we do it blind?
You can do it blind.
Okay.
Well, can you keep track though?
Well, I know this one is the one I just did.
Okay. Wait, blind. So you're gonna.
Actually, it's not blind anymore. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay. It's okay. Let's just pour these into.
Okay.
Oh. So that one is the first one, direct high kettle agitation. So I'll put this one on the left here. And then this here is is mellow drip agitation, which is lower agitation. So and they both brewed same everything, or as close as what I, as possible as what I could do by hand here. I'm only human, and we'll see which one tastes better. Maybe they won't taste better. When the coffees are at this caliber, it's more of like, what is the presentation that you may want? So now we're gonna taste. I did a much longer bloom for these coffees to try to let them open up, but we want to see is there stylistically a difference? And also this is almost 1:18 ratio. So you can see, for a 1:18 ratio, if I drop this is a lot of money right there. 1:18 ratio, you can see how dark it is, right? Like how extracted this coffee is. And hopefully it tastes amazing. Okay.
Oh, yes. Hi, MJ.
Gotta get some
Your
of the.
nails match the coffee.
Gotta get some of the coffee.
Rachel.
Oh,
Two different ones?
they're different, or they're the same coffee but different recipes. I don't know if we have a preference yet. We haven't tasted some of these. Okay, you wanna get in here? Cheers. So this is the first recipe. It's now been a little cooled down, so this is high kettle agitation, high wet WDT. And this is a super expressive coffee. So, ooh, wow. So that's like upfront crisp acidity. It is, so if you guys have brewed my Say recipe, this is the style of high agitation that I really like, where it shifts, it kind of compacts a lot of flavors up front, but because this coffee is like super sweet, it is natural, but a lot of those kind of like characteristics get covered up.
This is my mom.
Oh yeah,
You're on camera.
we're in a we're on a live stream. No, you can be a part of this. You can taste.
Just come here.
So
So this is the first brew. We used this UFO dripper.
different style.
안 나와. 나 여기 있어. So 이거 우리가 산 거.
This is a sample roast.
나 9시에 먹은 거야.
So it's very, very fresh. Also, definitely not as light as production roast, but
이거 다른 거야.
yeah, very different presentations of the same coffee. We're getting people who know what they're tasting
Yeah.
on camera.
두 번째 게 더 맛있어.
But I think we should let these really cool down, and then it'll open up more. But the first brew, they're just like stylistically very different. The first brew is like high physical agitation of the bed. The second is lower agitation. They're both brewed to the same ratios, but there's a very big dynamic shift. Like the dynamics of acidity for the
Very
first one is really like, I don't know. You can articulate this a little better than me, probably,
That's
if you want to
interesting.
explain to
You
people.
did the same grind. You did the same grind size.
Yeah, same grind size. This is just a pure manipulation of agitation here. And our contact times are around the same. Just had a cameo.
Wow.
So
It's so different.
yeah. So how would you describe the differences?
Well,
Or do you have a preference? There are no right and wrongs. Actually, there are. The first one's always the best one. I mean, regardless of pourover recipe, really, this coffee is crazy. Like, holy shit, this
You
coffee.
would almost think that they're two different coffees.
Yeah, but they're different pictures of the same coffee, right? But also, this is a coffee that, when we're talking coffees of this caliber, you can push the coffees in so many different directions, right? Like, I think This is the type of thing where I think when you're writing notes on coffee, right, you're like, you can totally push out very different types of acidity. I would say that for me, I prefer the first style. I always prefer this higher agitation because I love crispy acidity. To me, this coffee, and then kind of taking a step back, it's just like, these are coffees that you could stretch them in so many different ways, and the acidity will be presented in slightly different ways, but overall still really, really, really good. Just depends on what kind of dynamics you're looking for. So let me taste this first one again, and I can give you like a brief thought on this, and then you can tell people. Wow, that first one, like mango-y. There's like blueberries. There's like super fruit forward, but every single fruit note is kind of enveloped in this sweetness, like sugary sweet. And the thing that's lingering on my palate here is the acidity. So the way I always like to use my hands here, but it's like, here's the acidity that's up front, and it kind of lingers, and then becomes like a sweet and clean finish. But you can tell this is very high quality coffee and high scoring coffee because of how well things are tied together. Like the acidity is tied so well to the finish and everything there. Whereas the lower agitation recipe here with Mellow Drip, I would say is sweetness forward. I would say like sweetness and balanced, and then there's kind of those fruit notes underneath. So the extension of acidity is very different between these two cups. I would say that this has really shown that this coffee, to me, like it's a different picture of the coffee. This, to me, is showing the inherent sweetness that's in the coffee. This is showing me the acidity that's in the coffee. Of course, there's still acidity in this cup because of the initial wet WDT, but this to me, I think a lot of people like this style of coffee because it's very balanced. Like this is balanced, it's sweet, there's acidity lingering underneath each sip, whereas this is like acidity forward. So that's like, kind of my way of describing these two. But yeah, that was like mango, strawberry, super fruit, like all those really nice Panama gesture notes up front. This here is kind of like, and yes, there was like sweetness covering this. This is like the sweetness up front, and it's very clear. Like to me, this is like high clarity. Like I'm getting all the different notes and the extension of the notes, but it's more clinical. Like this is a more clinical brew. This is a more dynamic and interesting brew for me. So that's my opinion. And I can ramble on about pour-over recipes all day and dynamics and all of that, but. Yeah, as you see, she's been trying to taste the differences.
I'm just so happy drinking this coffee.
This is a very good coffee, by the way.
It's like towards the end, my mouth is just like, I can't help but smile.
But what do you think? But between these two, that's the fun thing with coffee recipes and pour recipes is that we're doing the same. Like I've just decided everything's the same. This is a coffee that can handle being at this grind size. It can handle getting pushed, and we can push it in very different directions. And the expression is quite different between the two.
Yeah, if I had to come up with like an analog, it's like almost. Typeface. This is like bold, and this is italics.
Okay.
Is that relatable at all?
I think so.
This is, the first method is punchier. The second method is mellower. They're, like you said, two different presentations of the same coffee. And it's so interesting to taste it side by side. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the fun thing.
Yeah, I think the first method highlights the red fruits more.
Yeah. I actually, in recent times, I used to be a hater of this type of brew method, of this like low agitation, because I was like, low agitation is boring. You're making boring coffee. But when you have expressive coffees like this one, that's really what this is trying to highlight. Like when you're doing this lower agitation stuff, yes, I'm trying to shift up more acidity with how I approach low agitation. But the way I'm doing it is still trying to like say, here is this more clinical presentation of the coffee, and when we're not really imparting so much like crazy agitation and stirring the coffee grounds like we did on the first one, we're really letting the coffee be expressive here. And this coffee is insanely expressive. That's fine. It's fine.
I see.
It's fine. It'll be okay. We can brew a different coffee later.
So what's so interesting is I always thought of this coffee that we bought as more in the red fruit zone, but the first brew gives me red. The second brew gives me more yellow. So different colors.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now that this is really cooled down, I'm definitely getting more yellow fruit. This one is still like. It's like this, like if I think about this in terms of out of 10 in terms of how loud this is, I think this is maybe like 7 or 8 in terms of how loud it is. This is like a 9. Like it's ever so slightly more punchy, but the linger here, or like the dynamics here is much more, it's a softer presentation, it's more balanced. I think this is a sweeter cup. This is inherently unbalanced. And I think that's what makes it interesting, is because it's unbalanced. But it's still such a great presentation of this coffee because this showcases kind of a different direction of what this coffee tastes like.
And now that it's cooled down, it really gives me like iced hibiscus tea.
Ooh, that sounds really good. I will try some more.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, geez. That is I mean, the main thing, yeah, feel free to try some. The main thing that is really interesting with this coffee is the depth. Like the depth of acidity, like the structure, the depth, how deep. Yeah. Like the depth and structure and how deep the acidity goes. It's like, for a natural, yeah. We're gonna let everybody taste the coffees.
Do you have a cup? Cool down a bit.
We have two different pour recipes. So one is super high agitation, direct kettle, pour everything there, dump a ton of water on it. We're gonna get people in on here. Cameo of the Bean and Bean team. High agitation. To me, very like. Well, actually, here try it against this one.
Yeah. So same coffee, same roast, different brewing.
This is a very fresh coffee, so you can taste kind of a little bit of freshness in it, but very expressive. Taste that against this. And then this is using a mellow drip, lower agitation. So very different kind of expressions of the same coffee. I think the idea with the first recipe is to just boost up acidity and like create a ton of dynamics, like compact everything up to the front. Second recipe is kind of more clinical brew, like let's let the coffee shine, don't really agitate the grounds that much, and let kind of the inherent characteristics of the coffee speak. But really what this is just showing is like this is an incredible coffee, and they're like different presentations of it.
Which do you prefer, the first or the second?
I prefer the second one.
Yeah. I think the second one is what most people prefer. The first one is like really bold and crispy acidity, and like for a lot of people, scary dynamics. No.
I love it. I love the first.
But it's interesting, right? I actually really like the second one. I think for this coffee, the second one is really, really good. Oh, we are gonna move things around. He's gonna roast this coffee, by the way. So he needed to taste the presentation of the coffee, right? And figure out what it tastes like, because Sal's a roaster here, by the way.
This is great.
Yeah, so, that's just what we wanted to do. I guess, did you want to cup this coffee?
We can.
Should we cup this, or we can look at?
I think I prefer to cup it tomorrow.
Okay.
After I wait a day.
Okay.
But how much time do we have?
Well, it's 2:50, and this is 4:47.
Okay.
Or do you have a different coffee that we should cup? We are on a live stream. We can keep going. Oh, here, let me do an outro for the YouTube video, and I can keep the live stream going. Okay, so yeah, just wanted to show off the 2 recipes here with a really interesting coffee, and you know,
the coffee that we brewed.
92 Esmeralda, probably going to be gone by the time this video goes out, or maybe there will be a little bit of it. I would totally do splits of it. This coffee is incredible. But yeah, as you see, you know, maybe people prefer the first recipe because there isn't that much coffee left anymore versus this one. But yeah, those are the recipes. You know, I've done a lot of videos on or streams on these 2 different types of recipes. Just wanted someone who was, you know, who's much better at tasting to help articulate, you know, the differences. But you know, when you're using coffees of this caliber, you can get great cups with pretty much any recipes. You know, just dump water on them. It tastes good. Okay. All right. Bye. All right. Now I'm gonna let me catch up on chat.
Okay.
Oh, that's Sal. He replied to my email. Very cool.
Please stop.
It's a guy. No, it's it's like a customer.
Oh. Cool.
Okay, what should we do? So I can confirm. Let me taste this some more. I can confirm that this is a great coffee. Confirmed. Good coffee, by the way.
How long was the stream?
We've been on for, how long have we been on? I don't know how to, I always forget how to look at the, almost an hour.
Okay.
I'm gonna taste this a little more. What else? Do you have other coffees we should brew?
We could.
It's some guy too. Okay, all right. So, yes, can confirm. Good coffee. Oh wait, let me link this. Did I link this in the chat? Let me link this in the chat. You guys can buy it before it's gone. But I'll cut this out into like an actual video because I recorded this on the big camera, so you guys will be able to hear and see better a better version of this. And she's gonna look for some coffees we can brew, but I'll brew a mellow drip. I'll brew more mellow drip. I love mellow drip. Shout out Ray if Ray is watching. But man, this is awesome. Get to taste and brew these big dollar coffees.
Do you want to brew the Costa Rica?
Sure.
Okay.
We can brew.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Or do you want to brew a new coffee?
New coffee, or if you want to do. We have time. We can do same coffee, 2 different styles again. Keep brewing this, or we can brew mellow drip. Okay, but we should definitely finish drinking these. This is money right here. See, I know how to brew coffee. Wow. So much detail. It's like a lot of detail, a lot of depth. Super sweet. Wow. I cannot wait for a production roast of this coffee. I feel like the production of this coffee is going to be incredible on the Loring. If you guys remember the Alita, I'm pretty sure this is going to be like of that caliber, but very fruity presenting. You know, and also one thing that, at least maybe because I have a slightly fresher version of this coffee and it was a sample roasted, is I can't really tell this is a natural, like brewing, that easily.
I was gonna say,
It's
can
like,
you tell
I
that
can't,
it's a natural?
I really can't tell it's a natural. So maybe I don't know what I'm doing anymore, or this is a really great coffee. Trust my opinions, guys. I know what I'm saying.
Do you want to brew this one?
Sure. This is a really good stream highlight. Okay, do you want to talk a little bit about what this is?
Well, this is not my coffee. I can talk about the roaster.
Yeah, you should talk about the roaster.
And we can brew this alongside, I don't know, our Panama?
Sure.
I have the Altieri.
All right. This is really cool. I don't know if you want to.
We might need more water.
Okay. We have water here. The things we do for the live stream. The things we do for these people. You guys better buy the coffees. It's
My friend has enough viewers. He doesn't need me to plug in.
But we want people to buy Bean Indian, right?
Here, so this is my friend's coffee. They're based in Seoul. They're called Black Road. And each bag has just a little bit of coffee in it. This coffee is also a Panama Geisha coffee. It's a washed, and the producer is less well known than some of the big names like Lamassus or Esmeralda. But I got to taste this coffee when I was visiting Korea a couple months ago, and he has this amazing concept where it's a coffee omakase. You go in and there's a new exhibit every season. Yeah, so we can brew this on the UFO. He actually brews coffee at his place on the UFO.
Yeah.
He calls this Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Okay, but look at this. Look at this packaging.
It's beautiful.
It's like a little treasure box. Open it up. Coffee probably is supposed to be in there. Black edition. Yeah. Cool.
Let's brew that alongside a different roast of the Esmeralda.
Okay. We can keep doing mellow drip, low agitation because it's fun.
This one.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you need?
Oh, I'm just gonna weigh out some of this stuff. Stream's gonna get demonetized because of the the music.
Really?
No, it's fine.
What music should we put on? What music should we
I
put
don't
on?
know.
It has to be, but your mic back?
Oh. Oop. Are we getting audio?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, did I lose connection? Hello? Whoa, did our audio die? Let me see.
Okay, what do you need?
Okay.
Is this
Hold on, let me see if our audio died. One moment. Or actually, maybe we don't use this mic and we just use front-facing mic. Front? No? Huh. How come my mic is not connecting? Wait, can you guys hear me? No? My audio died for a sec. We have audio? Okay. DMCA free playlist? I don't know. There are people who work in this cafe or are working in this cafe. Let me try turning this guy back on. See if I can get the audio to pair. That's weird. Okay, well, seems like you guys can hear me, so unless somebody says otherwise, we'll we'll just roll with it. So I'm gonna brew this Panama, and I'll do a small 12 gram dose as I was doing earlier. So we got some look at this. We gotta respond to this guy. I gotta be like, ban this guy.
Why? Mean guy.
All right, ban this mean guy. So we're gonna do this Panama now, and I'm going to do 12. Should be good.
Oh, someone said do a fully roasted Honduras.
Fully rested Honduras, maybe.
Let me see. Yeah.
But let's try this Black Road Coffee Panama. We only drink Panama Geishas here. I've heard that's really good. Heard those coffees are great. I just go over here and I just steal from the Panama Geisha stash. That's just how it is. Just casually brewing $50 worth of coffee. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's try this. I think this is a wash process. Yeah, this is like wash Panama. And then we'll see how the audio is. So I think it's just using the camera mics. So if you guys hear me, then great. Ooh, wow. Jasmine. Yeah, wow. Smells great. This coffee smells really, really good. Classic, I would say very classic wash Panama profile.
Yeah. It's very well rested.
Yeah. It's also quite light. I don't know if, I had an experience with Jay Kim, who was the guy who created UFO, and he was talking to me a lot about Korean coffee roasters, and he was like, man, a lot of those Korean coffee roasters, they like to, they like to toast a lot of those coffees. Or
This coffee is light.
Yeah, like this is really light for, like I'm not saying this is like a light roast for a Asian roaster, like this is just pretty light. So that's kind of surprising, because Jay spent a lot of time with me, and we were in North Carolina, and he was talking to me about how like a lot of these Asian roasters like to buy these very, very expensive coffees, and there's like, there's like a lot of pride with doing it in-house and all of that, but sometimes, it's like you take the Wagyu and you do a well-done Wagyu. Not like well done, like you did a good job, but like a well-done Wagyu, Not that it's wrong to have bad taste. So I'm going to do a mellow drip brew of this coffee. Same thing like I was doing earlier. And we're going to see if we can get the extensions of flavors in this coffee. It's pretty light. I don't know if you guys can see. Pretty light. Like that is actually a light roast from Korea. This is rare, guys. Can you postpone the shipment of this esmeralda till after December 5th? How come? You don't want your esmeralda? Bring this at 207. 12. I'm gonna start this timer. And we're gonna get in. We're gonna agitate. Woo. Wow, this is a great smelling coffee. Yep, nice and floral, jasmine-y, flowers. Really, really nice. Gonna let that bloom a little. Did you grind coarser or finer for Panama Gesha? So that depends on what Panama Gesha you're brewing. I would say that most of these Panama Geshas, even if they're naturally processed and they're lightly roasted, I like pushing them hard. So I actually grind them pretty fine, but you could also go coarser and, agitate more. I think there was a question for you, Jiyun, in there later, if you want to take a look. We're going to do the mellow drip agitation on this one. I'm going to pour very slow. I can pour even slower on something like Timor fish, but obviously we don't have the Timor fish kettle here today. We're dealing with this kettle. A little finicky at times. Pour to 150, 160 area. Again, I'm doing 12 grams, so I'm doing 12 to 205. I feel like we can go even up to like 210, 212, because we are using mellow drip. The kettle has dropped about 5 degrees Fahrenheit, so kind of just heating it up here and there. And this is a really nice manipulation of fines, as you can really go in there. And I also could do a higher agitation mellow drip brew, but I like doing this high clarity mellow drip brew. And I'm doing the pour, as I mentioned earlier, right before the level of water gets, before you can visually see the bed of grounds drain out. I'm going in circles. And I'm gonna go to 210. 212, actually. Exactly 212. 210, 212. So this is 12 to 212. Which is, according to the maths, I don't know how to do math right now, 17.6. 6. And I'll show you guys the bed of grounds, but you can kind of push like the weird looking stuff in coffee to different directions with the mellow drip as you go in and agitate, because you're kind of lifting things up. You're just like kind of moving the things around. Bed visuals, I don't swirl and tap for this. And we're hitting around a 3 to 3.5 minute brew time for these coffees. It smells great. So you guys what the bed of grounds here looks like. So here, you guys can see, is even though I'm doing mellow drip agitation, you can see the bed is relatively flat, but you can see all of the fines and chaff and weird stuff gets pushed into the air channels. If you were doing something like V60, the same thing would happen. And you can definitely see, well, we're using an EK here that's like pretty high fines, I would say. You can see, like, look how many fines there are. And we're pushing them all the way up as we do that agitation. So, like, you know, we're doing mellow drip agitation, the clear liquid goes up, it takes the fines, which are lighter, and it sticks them to the edges there. So that's less time that the fines are touching the coffee. That's kind of the same idea with swirling and tapping and heavy agitation as you shoot the fines out to the sides, all that. Doesn't matter too much with coffees like this. I don't think so. I mean, like, if you're using really expressive coffees, like, it's going to taste good. And, you know, you have Cibrist and you have all of this. Like, we're getting very consistent flow out of the brewer, especially when you have this, like, 80-degree angle. But the main thing is, like, you can see that when we're doing that mellow drip agitation, the grounds get pushed up here. And in this brewer, they get pushed into the negative air channels. So, kind of cool. And pretty flat bed. But yeah, now we're gonna taste it. So this is Korean Panama Geisha.
Korean Panama Geisha.
Korean Panama Geisha. Would you consider your Panama Geisha Korean Panama Geisha?
Korean American.
Okay, so that's this coffee here. We can rinse out I have a kettle here. Rinse out some of that. But yeah, this is quite exciting. And then I can brew. I think there was a question about Loring. Like, why do you like? Why did you pick a Loring to be your roaster?
Because I like it.
Because you like it.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. Okay. I don't know where my cup is. One of these is my cup. I think this is my
it's
cup.
Great. I think this is your cup.
Okay.
Do you want to do some?
I'll try some Korean roasted Panama Geisha. Ooh, smells nice.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
So this is a low agitation.
the second method.
Second method.
This, I think, was roasted in August or September.
I think it's September, like end of August, September. You can tell that, like, yeah, there's some light that could be in there. Coffee could be a little livelier, but it's mostly there. And that's the thing with these coffees. Even when they're roasted really light, you know, yes, they'll like lose flavor, but you can push that out, right? And when we're talking like extractions, I don't have a refractometer with me, but look at that. This is a 1:18 ratio. Look how dark that is, right? So I like pushing these coffees out more, and I find that I know there was a question about mellow drip. I like doing mellow drip to experience a lot of these coffees. Like, I think for me, my goal is to get the extension of all the flavors that exist in the cup or exist in the coffee. Mellow drip seems to really help in that regard because we're getting like a very clinical, higher definition presentation of the coffee. However, for me personally, I don't think it's as interesting to drink versus that first method I was showing off and all of that, which is like high kettle agitation, dump a shitload of water on it, as I'd say. So very different presentations. Although, you know, when you're spending this much money on coffee, right? Like, if you bought one of these bags of coffee, right? This is like a, you know, big money coffee right here. You want to experience as much in the cup as possible. Of course, you could do something very lame, like cupping the coffee. Nothing wrong with that. But you know, you want to have like a brewed presentation of the coffee. You do have a larger sweet spot with these coffees in terms of brewing. However, you want to, you know, honor the coffee. You want it to. I like to kind of brew these coffees both ways. One is my style, where, you know, kick up all the acidity, and you know what we're doing is we're experiencing the different directions that a coffee can head in. And this is very apparent in higher end coffees like this. Like, this is super apparent that there is that, like, you're getting this flavor note extension, right? You're getting like all of these very nuanced flavor note characteristics through a low agitation mellow drip brew. I'll brew one more coffee because you stained my filter. So I'm brewing. That's why I was like, oh, I'll brew these coffees.
How long after roasting before you drink Panama Gacha? Is someone's question.
How long after? Depends on roaster.
Depends.
Yeah, it really depends on roaster. I would say for coffees, like from bean and bean, 2 to 4 weeks off roast, depending on
8.
to 8.
Depends.
Yeah, like so it really depends. You know, a lot of the say coffees, I would say 2.5 to 3 weeks. If they're naturals, I like to do a little earlier. But it really depends on how light those coffees are. I would say that general rule of thumb still is like 2-ish weeks. But most of the roasters I'm drinking, right, your Say, your Flower Child, Hydrangea, Aviary, Bean and Bean, coffees that Robert hands me, you know, stuff like that. I would say I like opening them at 2. Like open, see how the coffee is performing at 2, unless it's something like a Poland's Gold, or I guess like Aviary, right? Like your Aviary stuff, okay, don't open it for like 4 weeks off. But, you know, we get these questions, I get these questions all the time, and even for work, we get these questions, right? We're like, well, I got the coffee and it was a month off roast, so this is no good. And then it's like, you know, I just want to tell them that you're wrong, and you should get your palate checked. No, but
You're mean.
you gotta deal with customers. There's some bad customers out there, some bad actors, and you know, fresh. Like the coffee's weird because we want there's like some level of freshness to things, but also you can't have coffees that are too fresh for brewing. So anyway, long story short is maybe I need to make this video on resting coffee. God damn it. Okay, all right. You guys can look at the stream on resting coffee, but you know, I would say like all of her coffees for the lighter coffees, I find 2.5 is when I start, and then I kind of try to catch the coffees when they open. I think the peak for the last few Panama releases and COE releases seems to be around 3.5, and then they really stabilize into week 5 to 7 off roast. And then I find, with the kind of exception of that one Alita roast, you know, 8 to 10 weeks out, that's when they kind of are starting to lose the sparkle, and you need to push them really hard. But generally, and also this is like the nice thing about Loring is I find these coffees to perform incredibly well in that 4 to 6 week area. Like the flavors will stabilize, they'll lock in, and it's really more down to how you store the coffees at that point. Like there's always a confusion nowadays with, is the coffee getting old or is it tasting worse because you aren't storing it as well? So that's like a whole other goofy topic to talk about, which we will not get into right now. All right, what should we brew?
Esmeralda.
Okay, we're gonna brew more Esmeralda. Different roast profile of Esmeralda. Great, I love that. Love to hear. I'm just gonna brew more Ezzy. I like to call it Ezzy Esmeralda.
What's the smallest gram?
You can do like 10 in that. You can just grind it finer. So if you want to freeze your coffee, at what week would you freeze them to catch the prime? 2 weeks. Because depending on, so here's the thing is, even if you freeze coffees, they still will degrade. So they just will degrade really slow. So 2 is a good time to freeze. And then, you know, if you open up a month later, I think it's, for me, depending on how cold your freezer is and like what type of vacuum mechanism and how you're storing those coffees, I find, you know, it feels about like a month is equal to 1 week in coffee in resting time. Like a month frozen seems to be around a week of non-frozen, if that makes sense. Something along the lines of that. But then there are like a million variables with how you freeze things and how cold the temperatures are, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna do a 10 gram brew. The nice thing about UFO is this is an incredibly strong single cup brewer, and we can brew our very, very low dosages of coffee, like 10 grams.
Brian, can you give tips on how to brew the Costa Rica COE? Someone opened it at 2.5 weeks.
There was a video I posted about it in a stream that I'm pretty sure.
Because I think it gets better.
Yeah,
with
do you-
more rust?
Oh,
for the
you agree?
Costa
Okay.
Rica?
So the Costa Rica. I found the Costa Rica to be really good at 2 weeks. I found the Honduras to be a lot better at like 4.
Yeah,
But-
that's a washed.
But that's like my kind of thought between your washed and your more like
Pack.
experimental process.
The coffee that Pack has of the Costa Rica,
Mhm.
he said it's speaking today.
Yeah.
And that
So,
was how long ago?
a month ago. About a month ago.
Yeah, 5 weeks ago.
So depending on how your storage is, I still think that 4 to 6 week range is good, especially if you have a lighter roast coffee. And in this case, that Costa Rica is very light. Even though, actually, if you look at the grounds of Costa Rica, it doesn't look that light, but I think that's because it's been fermented. It's been tampered with. No, I'm just kidding. Get some water in here to agitate. So we're gonna do a 10-gram brew. I'll keep the same grind size, and I will pour even slower. Drop some Panama on the table. Spaghetti. Grinding some Panama onto the table by accident. Spaghetti moment. Okay. Yeah, they won't oxidize as much, but still, I think the challenge with brewing some of those coffees is, storage of those coffees is it really depends on your freezer temp. I guess you guys are crazy enough where you have your, actually I highly recommend go and get the Walmart freezers. They're pretty cheap. You can find them on sale. Actually, Black Friday, you might be able to find some of those Walmart freezers super cheap, $100. I'm thinking about picking up the chest freezers. And this one, I hope we get a good brew out of, but it might be a little hard because it's only 10 grams. But it's smelling great. And also, some of it fell on the table, so there might be grounds mixed into it. I'm just gonna do a single very, very long pour to 170. And it's gonna taste great, right? There we go, 170. So 10 to 170. We dropped like some of the dose on the table, by the way, and I scraped it into the thing, so it should be okay. There's some, I dropped some of the coffee. Yeah, that was just money on the EK wasn't fully closed.
Wow, Brian.
But I think most of this coffee should be like 99% Esmeralda. There might be some other Panama Geshas in here. Oh no. C40 clicks. What is a 5.5? What is like a 5.5 on a ZP6 to a C40? Translate whatever that is. 5.6. And this is a 1:17 ratio. Guess we can dump this out. I don't know what this is. Is that your cup?
You could just pour from this, no?
Oh, I guess you could.
Do you have a cup? Is that yours?
I think this is your cup, right?
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm gonna... Don't leave me out!
But yeah, that's like, this is 1:17, and you can see the approach works even with lower dosages. So we can see, like, we still are pushing up the fines, we're still pushing up weird stuff up here. Obviously, like, it's a bit everywhere. This is like an EK. Weird looking shards, actually. But it is
Cheers.
dark colored, which means it's brewed. Very sweetness forward. I think the earlier profile tastes better, in my opinion.
It rested longer.
Oh, okay.
This has been 2 hours.
Oh, 2 hour rest time. Oh,
the other
okay.
one was 6 hours.
But still, a lot of that fruit is underneath. Like in this type of brewing, we're shifting a lot of sweetness up front. So it's like sweetness forward, and I taste the acidity underneath some sort of sweetness. Yeah, so...
This is a lot of coffee.
Yeah, but
You
Esmeralda,
don't have
great
your
coffee.
mic on.
Oh, I'm just using this mic.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just using the mics here. EK moment, yeah. EK moment. I told you, EK moment. I ground like 5 grams of that Panama, like Esmeralda, like straight onto the table, and I scraped it into the thing. It worked out.
Oh, Brian.
Just that's $5 right there. I have $5 cash. I can hand this to you in exchange for that.
Wait, so you scraped it off from your ground?
Yes. my V.
So this is 3D printed?
Yes.
Wow.
So that's 3D printed. And those are like the positive air channels to the negative air channels. Okay. All right. I have no other content today, guys. Unless you want to make more content.
We have a lot more content we could make, but we need to work.
Oh, right, that's true. You guys have to work. Sorry. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, that's what I guess I'll wrap up the stream then. But yeah, we brewed a bunch of different coffees. We mainly brewed Esmeralda earlier today. If you want to check out the other video, we did a sample roast of the Esmeralda. This coffee is incredible. It smells great. And is tasting amazing. I mean, there's just so many interesting characteristics in that coffee.
It's still coated on my tongue.
Yeah, but we had a different pour-over styles here, right? We were doing high kettle agitation, as you guys know, I love that stuff, versus low, high clarity mellow drip agitation. So two different characteristics there, and you know, a lot of stuff happened. You have your Cup of Excellence Mexicos that came in, so those coffees will be available at some point in time. But you know, I don't know, just roll in and steal from your stash.
So what happened with that coffee is the USDA, or the Food and Drug Administration.
Dropping cameras. Okay, what happened?
Took our coffee away, and didn't tell us why they were inspecting our coffee, but we got unlucky. They took it away and had it for like 3 weeks, and it was stuck in Memphis. It flew over from Mexico to Memphis, and I was like losing sleep over it, thinking, oh my god, what happens if this coffee gets lost? What if they take it away? And finally the FDA released the coffee, so it arrived in Queens today, and you saw it as it arrived.
Yeah.
So I'm very relieved.
Yeah, so the coffee is there and will probably be for sale. I don't know. I just come here and I steal Panama geishas and steal Cup of Excellence coffees. You know, it's a great day, typical day. So, yeah. All right. I mean, other people have to do work, so you know we need to do that. But yeah. All right. Thanks for watching the streams. Probably will make some of these into videos. And yeah. Oh, I have tasted Ivan Solis Cup of Excellence #1. That's available on Xbloom. You should buy it. We have the whole bags. That coffee tastes like I want to say candy corn. It tastes like candy corn. So if you're not into that flavor profile, then I don't know. I have mixed feelings on that specific coffee. Yeah, the bean got blocked by USDA. Okay, all right.
I thought it was drugs or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
drugs. Okay, all right. See you guys later. Time to end the streams.